Kelly and Mary Kate, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely happy to
So
be
we're going to talk about the 5-week program that the two of you have created.
It is called the Defense Against the Dark Arts.
This is a 5-week course for teenagers to help them build up resilience or mental toughness skills to not only withstand the pandemic, but come out of it better than they started. And to also, as Kelly said earlier, to kind of reintegrate back into reality in the sense of being able to speak to people face to face, and just that socialization aspect I think is going to be pretty shocking for teenagers.
And what are the age groups that you're focusing on?
We're focusing on two different age groups at the moment.
Yep.
The first, really, we're looking at kind of a middle school aged kids from 12 to 15, and then later on doing a 16 to 18 as well.
Okay, so you're focusing, I know we talked about this yesterday a little bit. So you're talking about strength, depletion, you're helping the kids set goals. One of the things that I thought was interesting in week number 2, you talk about emotional intelligence, embracing the negative and negative signals. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So, a lot of times in positive psychology, we get this kind of misunderstood notion that, and that kind of toxic positivity, where just think positive, everything will be fine and it's going to be great. And that's actually really unhelpful, because negative things happen. This is real life. We're going to face challenges. We're going to have adversity in our life. So understanding the negative emotions and the signals that they're trying to give us for our own ability to raise our resilience skills, it's underserved, I think. So embracing negativity, understanding how to work with worry, understanding how to work with anger, understanding those negative emotions are not bad. They're actually helpful in telling us how we need to behave, and they're just merely signals. And if we can get in tune with them and really understand what's going on, we then can make appropriate actions toward where we want to go in the future.
And 2 other things that you've also mentioned: matter that matters.
This will be our third week of the course. We're going to be talking about self-worth and how to cultivate it, and driving home the idea that we are all matter in this world that matters, and really differentiating between, especially for teenagers, between the notion of fitting in with a peer group and actually belonging. Drawing on some of Brene Brown's work and talking about, in order to really feel like you belong to a place, to a group of people, to yourself, you have to be able to get real with yourself. You have to be able to have those authentic and those vulnerable conversations to show your true colors, foster those really deep, meaningful connections with your peers.
So basically embracing what's weird.
Absolutely.
And feel weird about it.
We're all weird. We all have weird pieces of ourselves. And what a beautiful thing, what a beautiful tapestry to be able to connect with other people. Because if we were all exactly the same, it would be pretty boring.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard for kids to understand this, though.
Sure. Well, I think it's painful to feel rejection, and understanding that this temporary rejection in maybe a peer group or a situation is not long-lasting, lifelong rejection. And so being able to learn from that rejection and understanding that it doesn't define us, it's just a piece of our journey. That those kinds of things are where we can really build our worth and know exactly how we want to show up in the world, and really allowing ourselves to do just that.
Yeah.
Right. And then you also deal with disarming the bully. I think that's great.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
That actually makes me think of Cobra Kai, like the Karate Kid, But you guys have Harry Potter in there, though. We'll talk about that.
Well, yeah, it's disarming a Malfoy, right? And so using the really powerful work of Brooks Gibbs, who is kind of like a renowned PhD in sociology and psychology, school psychology in particular. It's really choosing love over hate. So understanding that a bully's a human too, and understanding how we can stand up for ourselves, even in the face of somebody that's doing something wrong, and really be able to step into our role as far as a powerful young person, instead of just believing what they say about us, or just believing what a group of people even says about us. But knowing our values and knowing our worth helps to be able to disarm that Malfoy, because even Malfoy Malfoy's lovable. I mean, if you think about it, he has some good qualities, right?
Right. You wrap it up with teaching the kids on how to advocate for yourself. I think that's huge because kids that are going through this are shy, they're timid, and they're afraid to advocate for themselves. So you guys actually give the kids tools to be able to do this, right?
Yeah, and I think it's a really important piece of what's happening with the bullying, and I call it an epidemic, because schools have rightfully tried to create this stance of no tolerance in bullying. And unfortunately, what happens with kids is that they're then afraid to actually speak out because they're afraid to be called out as a bully, or they're afraid to call somebody else out because they know the consequences are so severe. So it's actually not teaching them the confrontational skills that they need to be able to manage these things. And so, yeah, it's all about teaching how to speak up for yourself, how to do it in a way that is not going to create more conflict, but rather than resolve that conflict and really help you to move forward for yourself and for the bully.
I've spoke to teachers and administration, and a common theme that I've heard amongst them is that the students are having a really hard time communicating what they need, especially over Zoom, because there is that physical disconnect between them and their teachers and their friends. So even just allowing them the space to be able to practice advocating for what they want and communicating clearly. I'm really struggling with X, Y, or Z. This is what I need in order to move forward in a better way.
Yeah, I've spoken with several teachers as well who have said that they've finally, when a kid will turn their camera on and the teacher says, "Oh gosh, I'm so excited to see your beautiful face. Like, how wonderful to connect with you." And then you ask, "How are your grades going?" And you check the kids' grades and they're like, "Actually, I'm not not doing well." And so really being able to see each other, really being able to have those conversations is just so vital for helping kids to thrive.
So how did you guys come up with this idea to do this? Like, why are you so passionate about this, and why do you want to do it?
Well, when it popped up as that light bulb moment with my participant, I I have two kids of my own, and a lot of the things that we've been working on with them have changed the way we show up for each other in my house. And so I just know how powerful it is to be able to connect with kids on that level. And when Harry Potter popped up, I reached out to the Flourishing Center and said, "Hey, anybody interested in joining me?" And Mary Kate jumped right in.
Yeah, so the reason I decided to collaborate with Kelly on this is because, firstly, I love Harry Potter, and I think there are really, really valuable life lessons on an individual and like systemic level in the series. So, at any chance to revisit the Harry Potter series, I'm all for. But as far as addressing the teens nowadays, I've worked with children and adolescents almost entirely my whole life. Huge advocate for peer education, camp counselor, worked at a YMCA, work with undergraduates now at Syracuse University. And I really think that there's something special about young people. I've always been so in awe of them because their potential, their capabilities, their rawness and their honesty is so inspiring to me. And to see a whole generation of people really struggle, especially in this weird, awkward time of adolescence when they should be out making trouble with their friends and, finding out who they are and who they want to be in the world. They're stuck at home and they're stuck in front of a screen. So I really wanted to participate with Kelly to help make this time a little bit less painful and maybe even enjoyable.
Fun. We want to have fun.
What is it called?
Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Defense Against the Dark Arts, and it's a 5-week program. Mm-hmm. When does it start?
It begins February 16th, and it will run from 7 to 8:30 on Tuesday evenings for 5 weeks.
And how much does it cost?
It's $300 per person. If there's somebody out there that really wants this program but is struggling in these difficult financial times, please feel free to reach out to Mary Kate and I. We really want to help children. We're not here to, become millionaires. This isn't like, the woohoo, we're just here to take your money. We want to be able to help kids. So if you are struggling and you just see your teen really needing this, please reach out and we'll make something work.
And what are the age groups again?
The first one that we're running, we're really shooting for ages between 12 and 15 right now. And the second one we're hoping to be able to run will be 16 to 18. But that being said, if there's a kid that's 16 to 18 that really wants to jump in here, do not hesitate.
And if a parent is watching this or a kid is watching and really wants to sign up, how do they do that?
Have them reach out to Kelly or I via phone or email,
Mm-hmm.
or direct them to Kelly's website at brighterpurposecoach.com. And there you can get more information on the course and sign up.
Is there anything you would like to add that I haven't asked about the program so that parents who are watching can really sign up their kids, because this is a great program?
So I would like to say, we are offering tools and skills for teenagers to build up their own toolkit of ways to deal with the stress of disconnection and academics and everything else that comes with being in a pandemic. We're offering a safe space, a safe community for teenagers to connect with one another, to actually foster those really meaningful connections and to have fun and to be their goofy selves and to not be embarrassed about it. What we are not offering is therapy, and we are not offering a get quick fix coaching or therapeutic magic trick for parents, teenagers to suddenly get A's in school and, be the most popular prom queen or whatever it is. We're simply helping teens.
Giving them tools.
Yeah.
And exercises and doing things like that, hands-on, right?
Yep.
So is there anything else you would like to add?
Yes, this is for teenagers who like, love, or are intrigued by Harry Potter. It's a Harry Potter themed workshop, so if Harry Potter does not jazz you up, I would probably not recommend this for you. Just making that explicit for people.
So all Harry Potter fans out there.
Yeah, we will be talking about Harry Potter. We will be talking about the spells and the disarming charms and how to relate those to skills in positive psychology. So we're basically giving a way to remember it in a more fun way instead of, being all sciencey. Like if it was just Mary Kate and I talking, we could talk about psychological science all day long and get really excited about it. But as I have found with my kids, the eye rolls and the glazed over look, that's what we're trying to avoid. We want to be able to help them.
And how many students will be in the class?
We're really shooting for 10, but we'll cap at 20. So
okay.
20 at the most.
So this is also a great opportunity for them to connect with other kids. I mean, now that we're doing this via Zoom, virtually, they can connect with kids from all over the state. I mean, country, right?
Yeah.
From different states.
It's not going to be like an academic sit there and stare at the screen situation. We're going to be asking kids to participate. We're going to be asking kids to show up and really speak to us and really speak to each other and support each other. And it's a connective community of kids that we're really wanting to help develop here. Kids that are there for each other. Yeah.
For the kids that are watching, right? I just said class. It's not a class. So because kids tend to go, I hate class, I hate school, right? So it's not a class.
No.
Nothing compared to a class.
Yeah, it's a workshop. It's going to be fun. We have infused fun into this. We want to laugh. We want to have fun. We want to be able to really be real with each other. And I'm not a teacher. I never have been a teacher. I'm a person that wants to show up and help kids to go, oh, this is the real me. And let them be that, and let their, like Mary Kate said, let their freak flag fly and really get to be themselves in a safe space.
I think this is great. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Happy to be here.
And best of luck, and hopefully I'll talk to you again after the course.
All right, sounds great.